Sun-In is making a comeback. If you've never seen or used this, Sun-In has been around since the 70s. It's a spray that lightens your hair when heat is applied. So basically, it's a gradual lightener. Spray it all over your hair, sit in the sun, and you'll have blonde hair. But that wasn't always the case. A lot of times you would get orange hair. I'll cover why later on in this video, but we're gonna test this out on my hair. We have some hair swatches. I have not used this in a long time, so I'm super excited. Hate the packaging though. The old packaging was fine, but remember the commercials? I used to love the commercials.
Get natural looking highlights as soon as tonight. Put sun in your hair. Do your hair right.
You apply this on damp hair and comb it through. That's for an all-over blonde. If you want highlights, you just select the strands and cover those strands. Then it says here that you can blow dry this in, which I did not know that or remember that, but I think the original one, the gimmick was you actually go sit in the sun. So I applied mine to this panel here on damp hair and went out in the sun. That's why I look like a lobster. I have a heck of a sunburn. And I did wear sunscreen. I don't know how long I was outside. I was planting my garden. If you wanna keep up with that or you like plants, I'll link my Instagram below. I post daily uploads of my plants. I love plants. I think I was out there for about 4 or 5 hours. And then I also applied it to these hair swatches. So on my hair, see if you can tell a difference. It's going to be this side here. Does it look any lighter? And then right before I went outside, I applied it on the bang area to see if it would lighten this bleached part. It feels like hay. I think it lightened it just a little bit. It's not anything crazy. The hair swatches actually look pretty good, but they were in the sun for 8 hours, which I do not recommend anyone sit in the sun for 8 hours. The top is the color it was, but the spray kind of went everywhere. I should have covered this with a conditioner or put foil on the top, so you really can't see what this was, but it was a completely 100% gray swatch. You can kind of see here, and look what it did. It looks beautiful. It is on the orange golden side, but I love it. I think it looks awesome. This one is Pravana Vivids in Violet. Sun-In says not to use it on colored hair. I just wanted to see what would happen, and it did lighten some of this color out, but it is very splotchy, which is to be expected. When you're spraying it, you can't really see because the product is clear, so you're not gonna have even results. And again, I went crazy with the spray bottle, so it's splotchy everywhere. Why I even did this one, I have no idea, but this one was already white and it did nothing to this one. This hair is virgin hair. It was already a darker orange color and it did lighten it to a nice yellow golden color. I actually really like it, but this one, like my hair, feels fried. And the last swatch, again, virgin hair, it was a lighter shade. It did lighten it quite a bit. The swatch was more orange. This is more yellow to me, how it lightened it. So the Sun-In does work, and it's always worked. I used to use it all the time, and you could always tell who used Sun-In if they had darker hair because they'd come to school the next day with orange red hair, because this isn't strong enough like actual bleach. This is a gradual lightening process. The first ingredient is water, and then we have hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide. I have a hard time with that word. This is developer for hair color or lightener. First ingredient, water. Second, hydrogen peroxide. So this has the same ingredient that's in your developer you would use for bleach or lightener. And sometimes you're not supposed to do this because chemical burns, but if someone has a stain on their hairline, or if I get stains on my hands, you can put 10 volume on it and it will lighten up. The hydrogen peroxide, H2O2, will lighten it up, break through the color pigments. Just like if you had blood on a shirt, you could take hydrogen peroxide in the brown bottle and it will break up the pigment. Hydrogen peroxide lifts pigments out. That's what this is doing, and this one is just a lot slower. This one is more controlled, more predictable. This is 3% of hydrogen peroxide. This one doesn't say the amount, but I'm assuming it's 3% as well, or somewhere close to that. And just like in hair color, anytime you add heat, it makes things work faster, stronger, not necessarily better because it's more damaging for your hair. So when you add heat to this, or the sun, heat is accelerating it, but the problem with this is there's no ending time. You spray it on, you're outside, and when are you gonna rinse it out? If you leave it on overnight, like we did when I was younger, it will gradually work. Even without the sun, it's already in your hair. Just like if you put peroxide on a shirt with a stain, it will still remove that stain slowly, slowly, slowly. There's still chemical there until you throw it in the wash, rinse it, dry it. If you decide to use this, you do need to rinse this out. I wouldn't leave it on overnight. Your hair is gonna feel like hay. I only left mine on for the amount of time I was outside and my hair feels like hay. To cover who this is for, or maybe we should start with who this is not for. It is not for people with dark hair. And really, that's your preference. Just know if you use this on darker hair, it is going to turn red, orange. When we lighten the hair, with lightener or even with this product, underlying pigments are gonna show up. The darker the hair is, will be red, then it goes to orange, eventually to yellow, and that's why you most likely always need a toner. If you get bright blonde, they're going to be yellow. Past this would be white. You're really not supposed to do that, but you can. Some people can handle it, my hair cannot, because white is the absence of color or tone, so there would be nothing to tone out. So that's why if you get highlights, they're not going to be a beautiful blonde right after you rinse them. They're either gonna be red, orange, or yellow. So because this is a very mild version of this mixed with lightener, not only are you not really sure what you're gonna get, probably going to be red if you have darker hair. You would have to do this again and again and again. Your hair would be so dry because this also has lemon juice in it. And they do add in some things to make it soft, dimethicone, silicone, but it still is gonna make your hair damaged. It would be wiser to just go ahead and do some highlights. Do it in one time versus 20 times with this. And it says it doesn't break through artificial color, but it does, as we can see with this. So it's not intended for someone with super dark hair unless you like that reddish, orangey, almost a henna type look. It is more warm, but because of how unpredictable this is, I just wouldn't use it on dark hair. It is recommended for people with really light hair. Even a 7 may be too dark, but 8, 9, and then 10, would you want it any blonder? I'm not sure, or any more blonde. Applying it to already light hair, there's not really much work to do, and it's more predictable. It's going to be somewhere in the yellow, warmish range. All in all, I like this product, but if we're being honest, I think it's just because it's a very nostalgic product for me. If this never existed and this was new today, I probably would frown upon it just because you can't really predict what's gonna happen. But I think if you use it in a safe way, you don't leave it on very long, you rinse it, follow up with some sort of treatment, don't use it every day, you microdose your Sun-In, and I think it's cool for teenagers who don't really need to be going and getting highlights. This is a fun way for them to play with their hair. That's kind of how I got into hair, is doing stuff like this, frying it off and trying again. I do want to see it on someone with completely gray hair. If anybody wants to try that, or just do a little sliver, send me a photo so I can see that. Because if it looks like this swatch, that's perfect. So to wrap all this up, this product is fine if used correctly, but it's not going to turn your black hair blonde. You just need to use lightener or bleach. To get more out of this, you need to be in this range. And if you've never used this, would just test it first. Do a section like I did, or maybe one over here where you can hide it if things just don't go well.